Yo, what's up guys? CoReefing here, coming at you with the fish in the background in the basement. Here, let me turn this around real quick. I also got these new fish and they're pretty awesome. I got them for like a killer deal at Petco, but they've been hiding for 3 days now. So there's the fish tank in the background. I haven't put the filter on so it looks pretty blue, but I wanted to show you guys something that I'm going to be installing today. It comes from CoReefing. Let me know if you guys buy anything from CoReefing or have bought anything from them in the past. Alright guys, so here's the box and let's just check out what comes inside of it. In here we have some I don't know what these are, to be honest. But once I see the next piece, I'll know where these go. I could probably just pull these out from the side. What these are, guys, are mounts for the AI blades to connect to the XR15's and maybe XR30's, since they probably use the same screws. So I'm guessing how these work. This circle actually goes onto the mount itself. And then these guys, these screws here on the side, probably go through these holes. That's looking like how it's going to be installed. I will take these off and show you guys kind of how that looks like here in a second. So these are pretty cool, guys. And CoReefing has their logo here. All right, guys, here we have both of them with the paper taken off of that one side that they had it on. Looking pretty cool. I have put on the two plastic pieces, and what I plan on doing is having this right side one be on one of my lights, and then this is empty space between both lights. This one will actually attach to that second light that's on my left side, and the AI blade actually goes through this slit here. Not sure if you guys can see that, but yeah, it'll fit through there and we'll see how it looks on the tank. Alright guys, one of the lights is off. I took off the screws, but of course one fell in the water. I think it's intended to go through with those screws. We could take our light, put it back into place. We're just testing things out here, guys. We got our mount here, and this mount is supposed to go underneath that, but I'm gonna try to put it here. I might have to because I don't think these screws are actually going to be long enough to hold on to this, but we shall see. And that is the case. These screws are not long enough to go through this mount.
That's what she said.
All right, guys, so I took the light off. It is upside down right now, and you actually have to take off these inside screws. And then what I'm doing is I actually put like this mat here so that I won't lose anything. So I got all four off, which now I see that I didn't have to take off all four. So that's cool.
Years of academy training wasted.
I'll show you guys kind of what this looks like after you take the light off. Might as well do a deep clean, huh? I'm already here. You could actually see the fan and the heat sink here. So we'll just give it a quick cleaning.
The tank is clean!
Nothing too intense. I'm not gonna worry about it that much. And then you have the actual lid. This is like one of those hex screws, so it's not a regular Phillips head. So just so you guys know, in case you want to do the same thing that I am doing.
Amen! Why not? Why not, right?
Kessel still hasn't came out with those mounts that will actually be compatible with the XR15, but I'm sure it'll be something similar. So now we have the light off, we have our mount, I think this goes on the inside here. Let's try it. That one clipped. And that clipped. That's how it goes. That makes sense now. All right, let's get these screws back in. Okay, so I guess the power supply does get bent a little bit, but it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, to be honest. So all those screws are still in here. Let's just screw this light back onto the mount. Again, just hand tight. You don't wanna over tighten these, break the light or something. One of the mounts is done, finally. Now let me get the other one, and then I'll show you guys how the light looks after I install it. So these mounts are kind of cool, I guess, right? Because you could have one in the front and or in the back, depending on the depth of your tank or how you want to angle the lights. If you guys want to work as hard as me, keep your lights on the tank. But if you don't want to work as hard as me, you could easily do this if you just disconnect everything. Now that I've done this, I now know that I simply have to unscrew the two sides where you're going to connect the mount. Make sure it's all the way loose and leave the mount far from you so that it's not easily accessible, like me.
Oh no, not again!
You then grab your mount, grab your light. You can actually just possibly lift. Yep, you can. Hold the light. Lift where you're going to be inserting these mounts. Make sure the screw goes up. There it is. I think that now dropped. Let's try tightening this back one first. And it worked. It worked. That's in. And this one's in. Heck yeah. I didn't think it was gonna work because obviously these two mounts are intended only for one light, and I'm trying to install it between two lights. So there was that dilemma. I did ask CoReefing if that was possible, and they didn't know. And I was like, hey, send me one. I paid for it. Send me one, and I was like, I'll try it. And he was like, okay, let me know if you need another, which was cool of them. So huge shout out to CoReefing for giving me that option, but looks like I might not need it, so that is cool. This light is now back on. Alright guys, here I was having quite a bit of time trying to take off those plastic ends that came attached to the light itself, but it wasn't that bad. Right here I point out a couple little notches there, and it has a couple plastic, I want to say little levers that actually clip into those, and all you have to do is from the inside of that plastic kind of push out, and it'll actually release those plastics from the light themselves. On this side where the power supply is out of the light, it was a bit hard to get my finger back there, but I'm sure if you have something, you'll have no issue. And then of course you'll have to pull that all the way through the supply line, power supply line itself. I finally made it back to the tank after I took off those plastic end pieces, and those are primarily so that they can sit right over your tank, but with a 48-inch long tank, obviously I didn't want to have that sitting directly over my screen mesh lid. So here in a second I will show you guys a button. It does have one button underneath it, and you actually have to push that button so it can go past the mount. And as soon as I did that, it went right through. Yeah, obviously I put it in the wrong side that one time, but fixed the cable there in the back, showing you guys the button there again, and there I pushed it through that first section. And then here through that second section. This is how it kind of looked after I initially installed it. You can tell the right side's a little bit high, but I was messing around with the lights and I got it to as close as perfect as it's gonna get, and I will show you guys that here in the next clip. Guys, check it out. I got the light installed. It's slightly, just a little bit higher on the right side, but it's not that big of an eyesore, so I think I can live with that. But I wanted to show you guys how it looks. I think it looks awesome. I have already programmed it to turn on and off whenever the Radions turn on. I did separate the Radions a little bit further out, and I can definitely tell that I get slightly better spread with the addition of this blade. I did only want this as an accessory light. Yeah guys, I think it looks awesome. Everything is doing great. In the last 2 weeks, I have done a 60-gallon water change. I know that seems excessive, but I only did 30 gallons at a time. And I think it's paying off because my bubble coral back there, guys, is coming back. I see way more bubbles than I did before, and I'm just stoked, to be honest. Thanks for watching, guys. I finally got to 200 subscribers. That's freaking awesome. Let me know if you guys have any questions on anything, but I appreciate everybody who subscribed, everybody who's liked my videos, everybody who's commented. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. CoReefing out.